Fires of Magic. Rise of Spider-Man. Chapter 26. Trust. 28 days remain. Dum dum. You just had to do the Majora's Mask act, didn't you? Shining Armor paced through the room with his eyes so shut. Twilight, his darling sister, has just briefed him on the details regarding her newly formed relationship with Pierre, who happened to be the masked vigilante Spider-Man, and an alien from another dimension. It was almost too much for the pony brain to take in at once. Worsened by the news, Discord had already left moments ago. Yet the idea of his sister dating wasn't what perturbed Shining. If anything, it was surprising. Ever since he was a foal, the only thing that piqued Twilight's interest were her studies. That fascination morphed into obsession over the years. This, in turn, led the mayor to become socially awkward, eccentric bookworm she was today. Not for Princess Celestia's influence in pushing her apprentice to learn the values of friendship, which she was still completing to this day, Twilight, more than likely, would have lived the life of a hermit, spending every waking moment with her muzzle in the books. The fact that there was some point in this world that made his sister happy, romantically, filled Shining with a great deal of happiness. But there were several key elements that prevented the stallion from completely trusting Twilight's love interest. Surprisingly, Shining didn't have a problem accepting Pierre was not from their world, or even their dimension, in the first place. Not literally. Shining did find it odd, but it was hardly surprising, considering how weird his sister could be. However, despite being an outsider, Pierre seemingly had no quarrel with risking his life for the sake of others. Shining couldn't help but respect such nobility. While Shining did not want his sister to lead a dangerous lifestyle, too late! He knew there was no valid point in attempting an argument. Twilight already proven herself capable of defending herself when she dealt with the likes of Nightmare Moon, Discord, and Sombra. And to this day, Shining had his sister to thank for saving Cadence and himself from Queen Chrysalis. As Princess Celestia's apprentice, it was clear Twilight was meant to face adversity. Even Shining Armor had been destined for a similar fate as captain of the Counterlock Guard, but he managed to smile, knowing at least now there was a pony fully capable of protecting his little sister and would give everything in doing so. I'm gonna let this slide because Shining Armor is an older brother. I'm gonna be nice. Because if you're an older sibling, it doesn't matter who or how bad they are, you're gonna be worried about them. Give everything in doing so. Stopping his tracks, the stallion's royal blue gaze fell to the ground. Yes, Pierre was strong, but was he truly trustworthy? Initially, he assumed Pierre was, but considering that there was some pony from his world bent on the strikes on his way to Equestria, Shining only wanted to be certain, for the sake of his kingdom, that Pierre was not a rogue in disguise. Surveillance seemed like a logical choice to test Pierre's intent, but that notion was immediately thwarted by Princess Celestia, who already had Twilight act as Spider-Man's guide since the day of his arrival. Bringing his hoof over his forehead, Shining considered the information to the best of his ability, but his migraine made it rather difficult, prompting the Saiyajin to release a disgusted groan. There was some pony, a male some pony, living with his sister. It may have been innocent for a while, but now that she was dating him, Shining questioned it was appropriate for Pierre to remain under Twilight's observation. Of course, Twilight insisted she would have no difficulties in carrying out this task, despite her blossoming relationship with Pierre. Fortunately, much to Shining's dismay, every pony in the room backed his sister's statement. Twilight's friends were steadfastly loyal, disdaining how much of a friend Pierre had become to them. Several others in Ponyville. While they hid it well, Shining could sense some of the mayors harbored deep feelings for Pierre. Almost every mayor in this fit cares for Pierre! Caught off guard by the revelation. Despite the circumstance, however, they remained supportive. Spark rose to Pierre's defense as well. Twilight had always been something of a big sister to the baby dragon. But despite forming a friendship with every pony around him, Spike still felt like an outcast. However, since Pierre moved in, the dragon found some pony he could relate to. Although he was magically altered to a equestrian earth pony appearance, Pierre was still an outsider trying to fit in. Through that, Spike easily was able to call Pierre a friend. Shining grinned. Spike didn't want to be direct, but because of how similar he was to Twilight in terms of personality, Pierre was the closest thing the baby dragon had to a big brother. Princess Celestia weighed in her opinion. Much to Shining's chagrin, she offered nothing short of praise for Pierre. According to her, he was an earnest, humble, and caring individual, and his influence served as a beacon of hope for those around him. Once the news of her student falling in love with such a pony reached her ears, Celestia couldn't contain her excitement. Pierre led a difficult life back in his world, and this certainly seemed like an award for an acts of valor and sacrifice. Twilight was in good hooves, and a relationship would prove to be an invaluable learning experience. 8 out of 10. Certainly those odds were not in Shining's favor, but there was a slight chance the last two mares would offer some form of counterpoint to his debate. However, to his shock, awe, and horror, Princess Luna, without hesitation, aligned herself with Twilight. Shining stood with his mouth agape, amazed by the fact. Princess Luna, in her short time back in Equestria, made it clear she was not nearly as lenient as devout her patient sister. Trust was not earned easily from the moon goddess, yet Luna stood confident in her belief in Pierre. Not as a means to an end or lesser of two evils, but also friend, Luna said bluntly. Something Shining thought he would never hear from the ironclad Ice Princess. He inwardly begged for an explanation, but his mind yielded, not daring to question her highness. Last and certainly not least was Shining Armor's beautiful wife, Cadence. As a slave partner, surely she would have seen her husband's plight and taken his side. For better or for worse, was the saying. But like every pony else in the room, Cadence declined, siding with her sister-in-law over the love of her life. Shining's head and shoulders fell in a slump, cruel order of defeat seeping into his being. Cadence was an excellent judge of character, gifted with the ability to sense sincerity in one's heart. With a moniker as the Princess of Love, it's hard to argue with the Alicorn's instincts. Although evident by the blank stare he gave his wife, Shining tied to himself for not realizing sooner Cadence played a role in pairing Twilight and Pierre together. The goddess of love was also the goddess of shipping, apparently. Did her job well, it seemed. Shaking his head, Shining stopped at his tracks and shifted his gaze to the ceiling. It was all but unanimous, a 10-to-1 result. Pierre was trusted despite his alien background and continued to live with Twilight. Again, I can see why they're being overprotective, but is nobody else besides me worried about hormones kicking in? I mean, okay. They're in love, I get it, but hormones is a thing, you know. What's stopping these two from suddenly deciding, it's time to consummate? Okay, Pierre may be a nerd, but I still think he's the type of guy that's gonna wait till marriage. Deep down, the stallion felt his heart grow light, a sense of relief lifting from the strain in his chest. A romance in light was not to be taken lightly. If mishandled or poorly judged, some pony leaves with a broken heart. That was something Shining never wanted his sister to experience. By divine intervention, he was lucky. Cadence was his first love, and Shining was happily married to the only girl he ever dated. The fate was rare, but the stallion knew from observation, girls would often fool themselves into believing in any relationship, even with a sketchy or low-down scoundrel. I hate it when this fic offers a good point here. Meaning such a pony would not set well with Shining, and he knew great bodily harm would fall upon any pony who tried to break his little sister's heart. However, never did he imagine the fates would play into his favor like this. Twilight's closest friends, each in their own way, vouched for Pierre. Princess Celestia supported her apprentice's choice in a male. Princess Luna deemed Pierre to be her friend, and seemed to approve wholeheartedly. Even Shining's loving wife had nothing bad to say about her sister-in-law's close friend. If somebody could garner that amount of support for some of the most important figures in Twilight's life, it had to mean something. At the very least, Shining could rest easy knowing his sister was a good pony. But for the sake of his protective nature, the unicorn wanted to test Pierre himself personally. Okay, Twilight. Since every pony trusts Pierre, I'll try my best to do the same. Shining stated, earning smiles from the mares in the room and a wide grin from his sister. However, before any pony could hope to celebrate, Stallion raised his hoof, not allowing a stern affection to relieve his features. Twilight stammered, unsure of what to make of her brother's behavior. Once Cadence approached her side, Shining brought his hoof over hers and smiled a bit roughly. There's something the three of us, Spike, and Pierre need to do tomorrow. Is that okay, Twilight? Ecstatic, the purple unicorn clapped her hooves together. Sure, Shining! What seemed like troubling situation dismissed, meaning everything was in the right. Whatever her brother wanted now surely couldn't be too outrageous. It would be a great time to have Shining and Pierre, easily the two most important stallions in her life, get properly acquainted. What do you want us to do? You must tell us 3 tasks. But, really, do we have time for this? I mean, we got 27 days left. Do we really have time for this side trip? 27 days. I paced across the room erratically, pausing occasionally to tackle a menial task in between steps. Fortunately, the request her brother made, while simple and innocent in most eyes, carried an unbearable amount of weight for the mare, threatening to crush her spirit. Something she considered, but due to the importance of other matters, it got swept away into the back of her mind. For one who often prioritized situations with ease, life seemed to have grown unnaturally careless in the span of a few days. Her relationship, as much as he loved it, was altering her in the mindset. Twilight sighed lowly, praying to the stars that she would adjust to these emotions sooner than later. The plan was to meet in Canterlot at noon. Twilight stole a glance at the nearest clock, which read 8:15 a.m., and exhaled. The other bird gets the worm, as those things he followed diligently, perhaps to a fault, but because of her ethics, the unicorn had already taken her shower, combed her mane, so left with the chore of finding it impossible to pick an appropriate dress. However, her ears perked and an idea came to mind. She had looked at Spike and Pierre before taking her shower, which was roughly an hour ago, giving the stallion plenty of time to get situated. 9. Violet left the sanctity of her room and trotted downstairs. She could ask for Pierre his opinion on what dress she was to wear. The temperature in her face rose, leaving the mare's cheek a dewy shade of pink. Never had it crossed her mind to ask at any point such a thing with the excessive rarity, whose sense of style was in a league of her own. It made little sense, considering Pierre was an emphatic guru. His tacky costume was enough evidence to point out that fact. She's better off asking Spike, who was still upstairs brushing his teeth. But the mare was more comfortable, wanting to know what her stallion thought was cute on her. Twilight chastised herself for thinking so childishly, even more so for not understanding why this became an issue suddenly. I'll ask Keynes about that later, so Hermione stated, grumbling afterward as her heart ached to find Pierre. Oh, by the way, I know some of you people wonder why some guys got pissed off about Twilight falling for Flash, or why was Twilight falling for Flash a big deal. While some have opinions that Flash is just a one-note character, and while some are the opinion that Flash had, no personality, and while some are the opinion that Warren Faust didn't like to do romance, sorry. What's I'd like to point out, her problem wasn't so much as romance in girl series, so much as more overly devoted to romance, i.e. Winx. You know how Winx devoted itself 99% of the time to the romance between the girls and their men? Yeah, that. But here's the other reason I could bring that would be a problem with Flash. Note, Twilight's starting to lose all sense of character for Peter. Everything she is doing is devoted to Peter. Please note, instead of talking to her friends about her outfit, she wants to know what Pierre thinks looks cute on her. Sometimes when people write these romances between characters and the men, especially when it comes to a strong girl, it's like the writers are intent on having the girl character lose all sense of their original personality. Hell, even Disney does this. You don't believe me on this? Ahem. Belle. Strong, smart. Likes to read. Whenever she's in any other material that is not related to the canon, she's all about the dresses. Ariel. Adventurous. Likes to explore. Likes to look at things. The moment she got married to Prince Eric, no more. Hell, does anybody remember that Tiana likes owning restaurants and likes to cook? I mean, Pocket Princesses do, but does anybody else remember that about Tiana? My point exactly. A lot of times, the girl will lose all character. Now, you want to see an example of a good story where the girl falls for the cute guy and doesn't lose their character? You know the answer. But just to remind you, Arcade Strikers 3 New Senshi! Oh look, Hotaru falls for Anakin. Does she lose any of her character? Nope. Some of the other girls end up falling for their guys. Do they lose character? No. Does Leia lose any of her personality? No. But as you can see here, Twilight's currently fallen head over heels for Pierre, and it's like she's lost most of her mind. Unfortunately, the stallion was easy to find, and not in the way Twilight had hoped. Pierre was in his castle, his hose wrapped soundly around his pillow. Sounds asleep as the drool from his mouth seeped into the cushion. Twilight's brow twitched madly at the sight. Pierre was not tying himself in any manner, or searching through his wardrobe for something suitable. Granted, the latter seemed unnecessary, since the stallion only had 3 sets of clothing, from his gallant suit to his crusader scarf to the pair of tights he wore to death. Instead, Pierre was wasting time, sleeping while he could have been preparing. Twilight inhaled, taking as much air as her lungs could hold, before it reached capacity, forcing the mare to exhale to the greatest of her ability. "Wake up!" she yelled, simultaneously snatching the quilt from Stallion's body. Pierre couldn't budge, replying with a sleepy smile instead. "Oh, do I have to go to school?" "Peter!" Twilight edged closer to Stallion, till her face was only inches away from his. As a contrast, some ponies so powerful should not have been so cute or innocent. At another time, she would have watched the Stallion, allowing him to roam free, a carefree world of his dreams. But today was not that time. Biting down her lip, Twilight reared her head and lunged forward with a great voice. "Wake up!" Peter's heart raced to the massive velocity of light speed, and the world filled his mind just as rapidly. He remained still, mentally trying to stabilize his rattled nerve. Twilight's voice echoed throughout his ears, making the task impossible. His muscles shivered involuntarily as he widened to peer down at Twilight's furious gaze, which was upside down apparently. Pierre's eyes widened. He glanced at his hooves, finding him embedded in the ceiling. Sadly, Twilight scared him so soundly that he jumped tremendously. Before he could hope to react, his powers failed, leaving the stallion to fall from his position, bounced off the sofa, and crashed face first on the hardwood floor. Straight tear films for his eye. The physical pain he was experiencing proved to be quite great. His crushed pride took a heavy toll on his psyche. Twilight did things to him that were necessarily cruel. Being the snap he was, Pierre was destined to take such abuse until the end of time. "Is it time to go already?" he sarcastically asked, running his hoof through his mangled mane. "Or is it the apocalypse? I get them up and mixed up sometimes." "Neither, but it will be the apocalypse if you don't get everything together," Twilight blankly replied, before clapping her hose together. "Come on! Chop chop! You have to be on schedule." Right. Pierre broke into a yawn, as he forced himself back to his host. "Right. Don't be late." "What time is it anyway?" Senses were slow to return, perhaps due to the migraine he had. Once Pierre stole close to the clock across the room, turned around, giving the mare a slack-jawed look of plea. "Twilight, it's not even 9 o'clock yet!" Twilight's stony frown lightened, answering by exasperation. "No, it's not, but we need to make sure you look your best. Now, let's go!" Pierre prevented himself from devolving into a childish argument. His mind groaned. It would not have been easy to simply respond with a make-me, or just 5 more minutes. But the stallion dared not test Twilight's patience this morning. After receiving a pair of scoldings, one for being lazy and the second for ignoring her plea earlier, Pierre followed Twilight upstairs past Trixie, who stood at her doorway with bags under her violet irises. The form of insistence brushed the sleep from her eyes. "What is with all the commotion?" "Not sure, really," Pierre dumbly responded. Stopping his tracks, he aimed his hoof at the mare standing behind him, taking its attention away from Trixie. "Something about Caroline. Don't know the details, but Twilight's being really secretive about it." "For good reason. She told me everything last night while you were sleeping." Thereof, Trixie made her way back to the bedroom. "I wish you the best of luck, Parker." A little enthusiasm Pierre had to miss, turning to uncertainty. "Look, what do I need that for?" "Let's just see. You'll be in for an exhausting experience. Just don't do anything stupid," Trixie added before slamming her door shut. Pierre's eyes widened. Trixie was not one to mince words. In fact, Twilight told her what was going on while keeping a secret from him only added to the stallion's befuddlement. "Do we really have time to deal with this?" Twilight continued to drag him along her living room, giving Pierre no time to figure things out. However, his mind continued to run. Perhaps there was a chance Twilight only wanted to surprise her special somebody with something nice. Considering how strong the mare got over the smallest things, like girls in general, the possibility of that being the scenario was great. Twilight grinned forward on Stallion's face. Trixie's unusually villain-like laughter echoed through the room, reached his ears. Then again, there was a chance Twilight was leading Pierre to his doom. After all, he was the stooge who fell for the simplest of tracks despite having a sixth sense for danger. It wasn't like he had much luck in his life. "I hate being the good guy sometimes." Pierre grimaced before he caught Twilight's eye straight in his position. The golden exterior of the main Carolot buildings were bright enough to bring light to the night. It was worse than during the day, finding a blind those with poor vision who ventured carelessly. Instead of reason, Pierre truly felt blind walking through such bright city as he weakly used his hoof to shield the sun from his eyes. Celestia's influence on the world was both spiritual and physical, it seemed. Twilight's dress seemed to have gone perfectly with the surrounding environment. To make matters worse, her stallion was the one who picked it for her. The bright yellow design was simple, with a light streak around the waist. Pierre felt it was perfect, especially the pink neck strap that matched the perfect strand of hair in the middle of her violet mane. It was his own fault, yet Pierre was fine with the choice for Twilight's beauty and made the simplest of things look gorgeous. "So, you gonna tell me what's going on now?" Pierre asked, laying his head over her until his cheek pressed against Twilight's. Sadly, like the 20 times before, the mare ignored his question, replying with a flustered frown. She trotted ahead, just enough to avoid contact. Pierre sighed lowly. Frustration began to run its course. "Okay, it's enough for you to wake me up, drag me out of bed. That happens every morning. I'm used to it at this point. What I don't get is why you want to clarify things with me. I mean, this is kind of unfair what you're doing." Size was golden in some cases, but Pierre begged for the opposite, especially in this case. Twilight even refused to give him eye contact, making certain her back faced him instead. Pierre scowled slightly, and gritted his teeth before exhaling under his breath. However, as if she finally heard or felt his frustration, Twilight stopped in her tracks, cutting Spike and Pierre to follow her example. Mary inhaled deeply before bringing a hoof over her face. "We finally made it," she whispered, shifting her head to face the building on her right, all the while keeping her back towards the dragon pony behind her. "Spike, you go on ahead. Let every pony know we're here. I want to talk to Pierre alone for a moment." Spike shared a glance with Pierre, who only gave a firming nod. The dragon took the hint and followed Twilight's instruction, running through the yard. So at that point, Pierre realized how large the abode was. Nearly every building in Carolot was an exceptional size, but this one in particular seemed larger than most by a story or two. Its design was intricate, with snow white and golden bricks patterned to prestigious care. "Man, whoever lives here must be seriously rich. I think I saw this one place, and its lifestyles are the rich and snooty," Pierre whispered, scratching inside his cheek. Before he could finalize the abode further, Twilight suddenly turned to face him, while keeping her gaze fixed on the ground. Pierre tilted his head to the side and furrowed his brow. It felt like an eternity since the girl actually acknowledged his presence. The stallion's mind begged for his mouth to unleash a verbal thrashing. However, the inside of his face tightened once his hazel eyes espied the stand in front of the mare's face. "I'm sorry, Pierre," she said softly, closing the gap between herself and the stallion until they were only inches apart. The young male blinked dumbly, attempting to piece together the puzzle behind the mare's suddenly 360. When the morning starts, he was furious, fighting Pierre so hard he hit the ceiling, clearly. 10 minutes after that, Twilight turned to the innocent angel, asking for his opinion on which dress he thought looked the cutest on her figure. Not to mention, he received a small gift for being sweet. But the moment 11 o'clock struck, she devolved into a new attitude and gave her stallion the silent treatment for an hour. Looking somewhat flabbergasted, Pierre only shrugged. Angels one moment and banshees the next. Girls were a plethora of emotions in any world. He only wished he'd learned to make up their mind. However, Twilight wrapped her hose around Pierre's neck, while she away any shred of anger the stallion may have had against the mare. Sighing, he also wished that he was a complete wimp for the opposite sex, too. "I didn't mean you to treat you so badly," her voice cracked, causing Pierre's ear to twitch. "My brother wanted me to keep this a secret from you." Relinquishing her grip, Twilight took a step back, using her hoof to wipe her eyes clean of any blinding tears. "You know I'm no good at keeping secrets." Pierre grinned. Now everything was making some form of sense. Explains the silent treatment. Twilight looked away shamefully as she pressed her hose against each other. However, her eyes widened once Pierre's lips pressed to her forehead, prompting the mare's cheeks to burn. "Next time, just say it's a secret. It's a lot better than the silent treatment." His voice was light, masked only by the warm smile he bore. "Say the silent treatment for when you're mad or whenever we argue. That's what most girls do, I think." "Okay." Twilight's lips curled to a smile. The stallion once again found a way to remain positive when given all the reasons to act opposite. She loved him so much. Peering forward, the mare pressed her forehead against Pierre's, shivering involuntarily as her horn brushed against his. "Let's argue later. I want you to stay on your best behavior today." The eyes remained on center on each other. Pierre managed to place his hoof over Twilight's. "You said your brother wanted to keep this a secret? Guess he wanted to surprise me." He lowered his head to kiss her. "Don't worry. What embarrass you from your brother? If I wanted to do that, I would have worn my costume. My brother's here, but... Twilight broke away, and hesitantly led Pierre through the yard. Once he reached the door, the mare used her free hoof to give a series of knocks. Afterward, Twilight's smile faded, a worried frown taking its place. It's not him I'm worried about. Before Pierre could ask for an explanation, the door opened, revealing a stallion and a mare. The blue-coated male's irises salted and fun falling on Twilight. They hardened the moment they fell on Pierre. Parkle chuckled nervously at the reaction, quickly referring the stallion's gaze by shifting his own on the mare by his aggressor's side. Pierre's eyes widened on the usually familiar sight. Both the large blue irises and gray coat were different. The streaks of violet and white are made were nostalgic, so he'd seen them somewhere before. Pierre shook his head, shifting his sight from the mare in the house to the one by his side. There was a strong resemblance. A very strong one. First, Pierre figured the mare was his Twilight's older sister. It was clear there was a bit of an age difference between the two, evident by the gray mare's thicker physique and mature smile. But the stallion's mind sunk, playing the other possibility. Hi, Mom! Hi, Dad! Twilight happily said, causing Pierre's face to turn a pale sea of light. Wrapping both her hooves around one of his own, so he managed to hold her smile. This is Pierre, my good friend! The muscles on his body grew stiff, leaving his free hoof robotically. Pierre forced a smile to his face. Ha! Hi! Smiling aside. Dear with appearance. Way to go, Parker. Twilight set a trap, and ice sprang up gloriously. Yeah, dinner with the parents is tough. I mean, this is probably going to be filled with comedy and sad, happy moments, and what does this have to do with the plot? You know, Arcade left a comment a few miles back where he said about his plot meandering. No. His plot didn't meander. It went at its own pace, allowed us to explore the characters, and allowed us to breathe, because there was no time limit. A lot of other crossover fics where we're allowed to explore the characters doesn't have a time limit. Yes, has a time limit! I don't mind if we're going to interact with characters. I don't mind if we're going to have some character study. But time? Hello? We don't have time for this! You know, Big Bad incoming! Death! Mayhem! Total obliteration! No, fine. You go have terror with the parents. I'll just be over here in the bomb shelter bunk. With Trixie. And a bottle of bourbon. You can join me.